guys, Carly J here. I'm going to do this listing builder tutorial to show you how to implement what you learned in Pro into the listing builder. Okay, so I've already put my information in for this specific listing, and something I want you to pay close attention to. You're going to see this here if there is a variation on the listing. Okay, so here's the product that I was going to list. As you can see, there's two variations of this particular item. The actual ASIN that I'm going to be listing is the main ASIN, which I've already gotten. So I'm going to leave that as it is. So the first thing you want to think about is you want to type in a couple of keywords to give you an idea of what you're going to be building. So since this is a toaster oven, I will type in toaster oven. As you can see, I did not use any descriptive words such as, the size or what it's used for, anything like that. So I'm going to click on show suggestion. Based on what we typed in, we want to find the right category. So I'm going to go with this one here. These are all keywords that were pulled from eBay. So we want to build our title. The main thing you want to think about is you want at least the first three keywords to make sense. As we can see here, we have our title built there. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to come down here. Something I want to mention about UPCs. I recommend using a UPC for absolutely every listing, and there's a reason for this. You want to use a UPC, a brand, and an MPN because you're going to get a bump in these search results. Okay, so I'm actually not going to add this because I'm not listing this, but all you want to do is click get UPCs. If you don't have any UPCs in your account, then you can purchase them from the back office, or you can get them from outside sources. Now, one thing I do want to mention here is if you do not know the MPN, normally what a lot of people do, they will put the last 5 numbers of the UPC. Okay. Profit goal, I normally use 15 to 20% depending on what I'm listing. As you can see here, I'm going to choose a 30-day. You can also use good till cancel. We've got a brand and an MPN. Now, based on the earlier Pro training, I want to put my cursor right there. Okay, I'm actually going to hold my shift button down, and I'm going to use the left arrow, and I'm going to highlight this, and then I'm going to hit Control V. So I just got my title in there. I'm then going to choose Shift and the Home button to highlight it again. I'm going to go to Format, Heading, Heading 1. Okay. Now, since we are concentrating on mini toaster oven, any kind of heading that you have, you want to put mini toaster oven. Okay. So that's something that you want to consider. And as we have taught in the actual Pro training, we take out the brand name, and we will start this mini toaster oven has you want it to make sense, a 2-slice, extra wide, blah, 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 unique bottom compartment. Okay, so we're going to take this mini toaster oven, and we're going to highlight it and either click the B for bold or Control and B at the same time. Okay, now if I type in mini toaster oven here, you see I have 2.6. I normally try to stay around 2.2, so I may add some text along with this, and I will put it back in there, and now we have 2.4. So you want to play around with this until you get about 2.2. I usually recommend between 1.8 and 2.2. Okay, so as far as your shipping information, I'm going to get rid of that, and I usually clean this up a little bit. And what I normally do is I'll remove this one, and I'll say this mini toaster oven. I will then highlight this and click bold here. I usually put it a couple of places in the return policy. For example, say thank you for viewing our mini toaster oven, period. I'll then take that and I'm going to hit Control U to make it underline, okay? We want to use what we called in the pro training keyword concentration. So I'm actually going to go through the images in the next video for the media library. But as you can see, as far as the description area, this is how it should look, okay? Another thing I want to mention as far as the title goes, you want the beginning of each letter to be capitalized. You want it to look professional. Do not use commas or any kind of punctuation in your title. You want to make sure in your description area, because when you're pulling a listing through, you want to make sure that there's no product detail at the top. So we want to replace where product details would be with your title, just like I went through here. Now, another thing that I've seen, for example, if I wanted to put in insert a question and answer. So this particular one didn't have any questions and answers. So basically, if I were going to do that, any text that you see that is bold like that, it's called a heading. So you want to add your main keyword phrase, to that. Now, this didn't have any questions and answers, but one thing I do want to mention about questions and answers, make sure you have read them. I have seen listings where people have pulled questions and answers, and it may have said something like, this thing is terrible, I sent it back. Well, you don't want that on your listing. So make sure you read the questions and answers. Well, I'm not actually going to keep that there. I just wanted to go over that. So as far as the description area and your shipping policy, for example, we can always do this here. So, okay, and a lot of people are asking me how I do that. I hold the shift button down and then the home button. What that does is it highlights from where your cursor is at the end, and it will take it to the beginning. So I'm actually going to make this a heading 3. So as you can see now, I have mini toaster, mini toaster, mini toaster, mini toaster. Okay, so the point of this is to get this listing to the front page of eBay, which will then increase your sales. Okay, so I just wanted to actually go over these two sections here as far as how to do your actual listing in the listing builder itself. In the next video, I'm going to go through how to name your photos. I'm going to go find a item where your images may say less than acceptable size. I will show you how to deal with that. Okay, so hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you on the next one.